The third qualifying day of the FLW's third stop of the season. 10 pros are here, 10 co-anglers. That's who we have left on this day that most of the anglers feel is the toughest of the four. I'm Tommy Sanders along with Jerry McInnes. And Jerry, we are with some heavy-duty anglers on this semifinal day. The likes of Rick Clunn, Guido Hidgen, Takahiro Omori.
Boy, what a list. And remember, all 10 of these guys are going to start over from scratch today.
The top 5 will be with us fishing for the championship tomorrow.
And we're going to crown a non-boater today. Lake Martin is an impressive piece of water now, and get ready for a lot of Kentucky spotted bass.
Yeah, we're going to catch them today, Billy.
We are going to start today by watching Rick Clunn really go only about 5 minutes from the launch ramp. Begin fishing a cove that for the past 2 days he has shared with Takahiro Omori. Pretty sure they'll be looking each other right in the eye all day again today, but the big question is, will this spot hold up? Will there be enough fish left in here for another day's fishing? But I tell you what, their baits are wet while the other guys are fanning out all over Lake Martin.
Isn't it funny, Tommy, how you always have guys going a long way and you always have a few guys fishing close by? No different today. And you know what? The techniques today are really going to be different.
Lake Martin here in Alabama. While a lot of these reservoirs we fish down south are probably date back to the late 50s and early 60s, this is a much older lake. It was built back in the 20s. It's a very mature stretch of water.
A lot of deep water, too. A lot of deep, clear water, in spite of what you're looking right.
Yeah, oh, they've had some rain.
They had a lot of rain. Actually, they had some snow, if you'll remember, a few days before the event started. But this cove and some of the other coves are extremely off-colored, which doesn't seem to be bothering Rick Clunn any. And the rest of the lake, when we get down to where Aaron Martens and Guido is fishing, you're going to see some really very clear water.
Yeah. I just go all the way to the back and I come back, fish those points, and go all the way to the back. Every time I fish around the points, I get by.
We met Takahiro probably 6 years ago, I guess, Jerry, down at Santee Cooper.
We could talk the whole show about Takahiro, couldn't we?
He's an incredible story.
Interesting. He's obviously a great fisherman. He wouldn't be here with us today, but man, if you can just imagine what this young man has gone through. Tommy, I guess he's been here in the States for about 10 years now, and as I understand it, he was working in a restaurant in Japan, saving his money in the teens, and then and this had to be quite a shock. Imagine him going to his parents and saying, well, I've decided to go to America and become a professional bass fisher.
Didn't know the language, didn't know the culture.
No money.
Starting from zero, just like these guys do every day.
And he made it. You know, it's tough for someone who lives over here to make it, but he made it.
You see how he hit it? I said big lay down tree right here. I cast at least 5 times before I get a bit.
And every time you fish with another person and you fish someone like Guido's caliber, well, you're going to learn something. It's just going to make you that much better.
Sure hope things change, don't you?
Well, every event has a cheering section, and it looks like Rick and Mr. Cotto have one started themselves. Starting to be an interesting day here on Lake Martin. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always. Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Coleman, the outdoor recreation company. And by Energizer, the power to keep going and going.
A little collar.
Now then, everybody ought to get ready because today we're going to learn a lot about light line fishing and drop shotting.
Now, if you guys see me fighting a fish for a long time, don't get all excited. It might be just a 2-pounder. They fight awfully hard. I'm using light lines. So if you're wondering, I'm not pulling that hard.
Takahiro and Clunn are fishing in 2 foot of water. Aaron's fishing in 52 foot of water. He's on an old road bed there. You can see him right next to Highway 63, and he's actually fishing on the points of where it drops off in the deep water on both sides.
Well, everyone who's into bass fishing wants to know more about drop shotting, and Aaron, I guess, is the guy to watch. He's the most noted practitioner of it today.
The first shot we get at exposing it, and we get to do it with Aaron. I think that's incredible because, like you say, he is really good at it. And you know what? Guido is pretty good at it himself, and he fishes light line a lot like Aaron is doing. And so that's going to be real interesting today to watch these guys fish a little bit and then go back to Clunn and Takahiro, who are doing completely different things.
Absolutely. Of course, Guido known so well for doing what he's doing today, flipping boat docks. He's so deft at that. He can get that worm in such tight places.
You know, just try to remember the last time you saw Guido when he wasn't fishing with a spinning outfit. He's really good at that. And, of course, Aaron is the same way. You know what? Now, Aaron will, incidentally, Willie right here.
Yeah, Willie White from the Atlanta area, his
he
co-angler.
is getting an education on this drop shotting as well. But Aaron will fish a casting outfit every now and then, but uses light line on it.
Hey, Willie, what's up, dude? Willie's like,
oh, just let me know when there's a fish
oh,
on.
no, I didn't take your time, man. It's me a while. It's another small one. Thank you, sir. Take your time, man. I'll give you like a half-minute warning. How's that?
Okay, okay.
113. This is like a small one for this area. They're all this size or bigger. I mean, 5 of these would be 9 1/4 pounds. Hey, well, you can throw out behind us too.
Okay. Just anywhere, huh?
No, like right here. Throw this road bed connects with that road bed over there.
Oh, okay, okay.
So 2 road beds, there's one there. Here. It kind of links. It's an old bridge from 1920 or something.
Oh, okay.
But it connects together.
Joe, I'm not accustomed to fishing that deep.
50 feet's not deep, man.
Well, I fish Georgia Reservoir. We fish shoreline structure, you know.
Yeah.
I fish Lake Lanier, but still don't fish 40, 50 feet.
Oh, man, it should there. Get, man, get. Willie's on.
Actually, this would be a great technique to be a co-angler to boat on.
Boy, you better believe it, especially when you're fishing in a situation like those guys are fishing in, because Willie's got just as good a chance as Aaron has. Obviously. But again, they are fishing out on the end of these old road beds, and man, are they in deep water. They're in 35 to 55 feet of water, and boy, do you have to have a good feel of what you're doing.
Is that the deepest bass you ever caught, Willie?
Pardon me?
Is that the deepest bass you've ever caught?
That's the deepest bass I ever caught.
That's the deepest bass he's ever caught. He probably caught that at about 48, 50 feet. There's a little flat back here, the break on it. Off this bridge, this old bridge foundation comes out, and there's a little break that runs off, and it's not that deep out here, but it drops off over here.
Yeah, we...
Ooh. This big one there. Well, that water really looks murky, but it's not probably as murky as it looks, right?
Well, no, of course, that's just perfect for crankbait fishing, and boy, is Clunn very good with his crankbait, Tommy?
He has worn out the world with that thing.
Boy, and he is on a roll with it, too.
Oh, now all I got to do is add 3 more to it.
Now, you talk about close quarters. This is Takahiro's view of what we just saw.
And, boy, don't that work on you mentally? Or at least I would think so. You're going around in this little area here, and so the guy in front of you catches one about as long as your leg, and you know, it's got to be a real distraction. Of course, these guys' specialty is focusing. At least the guys that do well, and it's really tough to focus when you watch a guy catch a a fish like Rick has just caught in front of you. But Takahiro's he's getting it done, isn't he?
Absolutely. And, you know, you're not supposed to watch what the other guy's doing, but when the other guy's Rick Clunn, how can you not watch?
And especially with he's one cast ahead of you. It is hard to not be pulling for Takahiro, though.
He's come a long way in a short time.
Got fish. Good net. Good fish. Oh, this is a giant. Come on, this side. This is a giant. I know. Oh, yes, sir. Man, this is a giant on this pond right here. Look at this fish. Man. Oh. Ah. I can't believe it. I got lucky. This is a giant on this pond right here. Good start. Thank you.
Was a good start for Takahiro Omori and Rick Clunn, but bear in mind they've been fishing a lot longer than Aaron Martens and Willie White, trying their luck under the Kalijah Bridge here on Lake Martin. I learned something not to do at this tournament, Jerry.
What's that?
Don't pick Guido Hidgen as the favorite because he doesn't like it.
No, he'll choke you.
He doesn't want to be picked. Isn't that right, Guido? You don't like to be called the favorite going into one of these things.
No, I sure don't. That's for sure.
Is that like the curse? Is that like the bad luck or something?
Well, that's Gale Stearns for you.
Hey, you know what, Guido? I found out some things about you lately here. That's got to be scary to you. Now, I was reading a magazine. I don't remember what magazine it was, and they were talking about the Hibdens fishing up around the Lake of the Ozarks, and it wasn't even Guido or Dion. And it comes to find out, would it have been your brothers or your dad? Or man, your fishing history goes way back there, doesn't it?
Well, my grandpa, he guided on the Osage River, and my dad and all three of us boys guided on Lake of the Ozarks. So, and Dion guided on Lake of the Ozarks.
I think the article was really talking about how you guys had developed plastics and really got that started nationwide about as much as anybody.
Well, I was pretty fortunate back years ago. It was one of the U.S. Opens that they had out there in Vegas, and I kind of made a joke about it. You know what, I'd like to draw at Bobby Garland and been first boat out. Well, I almost got my wish. I drawed Bobby Garland, and I was the second boat out.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And that was when Bobby had developed the gets it, you know. And there isn't anybody can take that away from Bobby. Bobby was the first guy that, you know, produced the tube bait, and we just took it in years after that and kind of refined it a little bit, and this and that. But the fact gets it, I mean, it's still a great bait. Bobby's still in business.
Probably as popular now as it's ever been. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's, well, I bet you anything, you're using it in some form today and have been this week.
Well, I've got one rigged up that I flipped with, and but it's not a finesse type. I've got it on 20-pound line. I've caught a largemouth each day on it. And I done it a little bit this morning. I haven't got bid on that. We haven't got bid a whole lot on anything this morning, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. The fish are getting to move around these docks a little more than they were, so I think we do all right.
Going sayonara. Get man, get him. Willie's on fire, man. Jakehead's kicking. All right, Willie, do it. You got a T-pounder on, man?
Yeah.
A little better fish here. Keep pressure on that.
Willie White making a little headway towards that co-angler championship. We will, of course, crown our co-angler champ today at the weigh-in.
You're not supposed to be putting it on Aaron this bad, is he? I mean, Aaron's got him out in his world, and he's doing a darn good job. And incidentally, now he's fishing just a jig head on a small finesse.
See that follower?
So, like about a 4-pounder, 5-pounder follower.
You know, they're both getting their baits in the same place, doing the same thing. But it's kind of interesting.
Also encouraging, they saw that big fish following up there.
Wasn't it something? That happens a lot up there.
Our first look now at Eric Holt from Galena, Missouri, up in the Table Rock Lake area. His co-angler partner's Hoot Gibson from Arkansas.
In that muddy water, too. He's in water like Clunn and Takahiro, and he's got his problems as well. Isn't that tough to be having a hard day and you finally get a hold of a fish and he hangs you up so deep in that brush? But you know what? Of course, Eric's doing a good job here, but you know what? If you take a fish like that and pull him up against the brush or against the log and just almost pin him to it, you can still catch the fish.
You got a chance. At least he's held there. And that's what you see these good fishermen do. Every time they catch a fish in something really thick like that, they don't try to pull on him. They get on that trolling motor and go to him.
And keep real a tight line on. Don't give him any slack. Just keep him, as I said, pinned against the bush there. Eric's going to come out with a small fish here, but a fish.
A lot of work for that little guy.
There he is.
Back to Guido. A lot of boat docks on this lake. A lot of houses. As we say, it's a mature lake. It's been around a long time.
And like you said earlier, Tommy, he is so good at fishing these boat docks. But although he's fishing this finesse worm type fishing, Guido is not like Willie and Aaron out and there you see Willie's rig right here. It's not a drop shot outfit. It is a small finesse worm on a jig head.
And it's working.
Aaron, what's that?
Got a good one on.
Oh man, Willie, it's not a roll. I'm not good at jig head.
This one is running.
2 pounds.
Oh, no.
Hey, it's a nice one though. 1 3/4, man. It'll definitely go.
It was taking some drag out, like she wanted.
That's a nice fish. Bigger than you think. That's a 2-pounder. Look how big that fish is, man.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, I might switch to a jig head. That's what, 3rd bite in 10 minutes. Just killing him. That's a nice fish. It's like Willie's gonna make it, man. Top 5 go tomorrow, right? Non-boater side?
No, today is our last day.
Oh, it
We
is?
just fished today. And
so you're fishing for a boat today? Or
I'm fishing
you're
for
fishing for $15,000. Willie's looking pretty good. He's got 3 fish for about 6 pounds.
Guido, for someone who's not so familiar with all the different types of worm, tell us why they call that little worm a finesse worm, and what's the general idea of it? What are you supposed to do with it?
Well, what it is, it's a little tiny bait. I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, it's just a little gambler finesse worm, and it's a little prototype head that Dion and I have been working on, and we about got it perfected. Gambler will come out with it. It'll be under the Hidgen series, and it's just a little tiny bait that I don't think, if you put it in front of a bass, he won't turn it down. You know, it's fishing has been tough this week, the high water and everything, and you get it in front of one, he'll bite it. And, you know, we just haven't been around many this morning.
Fish, good net. Good fish.
Walmart FLW Tour event here on Lake Martens, South Central Alabama. The hottest man in fishing right now is this man right here, Takahiro Omori. He's keeping up the pace today on Lake Martens.
Thank you.
He gets so excited, man. You kind of get drawn in with him, don't you? But we talked so much about all the struggles that he had getting over here and becoming a good bass fisherman, and I think we should point out that he has become a good bass fisherman. Boy, he is, you know, the first time we ever met him, Tommy, was on Sandy Cooper, wasn't it?
Absolutely,
and
a long time ago.
And he had done real well one day and then kind of fell back the last day, so he's getting a lot more consistent.
We have another Japanese angler, the co-angler in the boat, as a matter of fact, with Rick Clunn, is this man, Seiji Kato. He's one of 4 Japanese anglers who are visiting for this tournament here, and he's done so well. He's made it to the top 10 here on the co-angler side. Good show.
Doesn't communicate quite as good as Takahiro does, but boy, you know, I kind of feel sorry for these guys. They're really trying hard, though.
It's not fish, it's netto. Okay, sorry. Netto. Yeah, netto. Right.
Tommy, I can remember last year, just about this time, we were touting Clark Windlet as the hottest angler on the face of the earth.
Right. And he
Clark
was.
He was, really.
Yeah.
And Clark kind of cooled off like anglers do. And today, the fisherman we're about to talk to here is the hottest fisherman going,
That's
man.
right. For the year 2001, it's Takahiro Omori. Takahiro, what do you attribute it all to? Why is all this good fortune coming your way?
I don't know, actually. I just get more bites. I get more big bites.
Are you a better fisherman than you were 2 years ago?
Well, myself, maybe just a little bit, but maybe I made the right decision to fish because I just get more bite.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
Well, really, do you think that you've got more confidence now and you're feeling more comfortable? There's got to be something, boy. You're just too hot.
Well, we still have so many good fish in the United States. But to me, myself, I finally get like used to. I start understand English more better. I start understand the culture for the United States better. All traveling, working for the sponsor for the promotion. Took me 10 years to learn, to use to. I'm not good enough, but I look back 5 years ago. I had more things I have to worry about, but now I think I used to start just concentrate just for the fishing more.
Hey, well, let me ask you this. Would you have thought 10 years ago that you would be going around in a small cove with Rick Clunn in that same cove and you possibly having more fish than he has?
Well, that's amazing.
It is, isn't it?
That's maybe wrong.
Tell us how you found your fish on Lake Martin this week.
Well, I found this fish in the snow.
In the snow?
Yes, it was
No
3
kidding.
days ago.
Yeah,
it was snow. I got no place to go, so I just started fishing in front of the marina. Unfortunately, I get by to find those fish in the snow.
No, we don't.
That's wonderful. I know you're familiar with the 4 Japanese anglers we have visiting from Japan this week. Do you think they're enjoying themselves? Do you think they're learning a lot this week?
Yes. One of the guys made top 10. I'm proud of him, and also all the 4 guys. I think they caught lots of fish.
Back to Mr. Cotto and Rick Clunn. Scored again.
And Takahiro's really proud of the group that came over here, isn't he?
Quite well. Takahiro has been setting the world on fire.
Oh, man. Oh, this is the fish I needed. Oh, come on. Look at it. All right.
Nice fish. Yes, that's the fish you needed.
Look. I didn't expect fish this big fish. Man, fish is bomb. Look at this fish. Look. The fish not far. You die. Dead. Ah, it's big. That's why I hung up. No, I'm just kidding.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Everstart Batteries, more power for your money. Land O'Lakes, supporting family traditions. Snickers Cruncher, hungry? Crunch this. And by Mercury, the water calls.
And man, we've talked so much about Takahiro and his adventures here in the States, and also about Aaron down there fishing his drop shot. But we need to talk about Rick Clunn and his fishermen here a little bit, because man, Rick Clunn in the past 10 months, 12 months, I don't think a bass fisherman has ever been that hot.
Net. Sorry. Oh, that's all right. I've got you figured out. I'm gonna move whenever I feel you set the hook.
I understand that you and Mr. Cato back there have met before. Is that correct?
Yes, we met. Kato worked for Daiwa years ago, and I went to Japan, and we met then. He had a daughter that same time I was over there, and she's 10 years old now, so it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Seiji, did you expect to do so well as you have done in this tournament?
I'm very glad.
Yeah.
Top 10, yeah.
Fishing with Rick Clunn has to be a thrill for anyone, no matter what country they're
fishing,
from, right?
Yeah, fishing Rick Clunn, very proud, yeah. I'm back to Japan.
Yeah.
Tell us just a little bit, just briefly, about your experience of coming over here and just how did this really happen, that you four fishermen got to make this trip?
I belong to JB and FLW switch the fishermen. So FLW invite 4 co-fishermen. I'm great. I have a great time now. So I hope catch more fish.
Well, good. We'll let you work on that. It sounds like you got a shot at it, and we hope it all works out. Maybe you can get the top award today. Congratulations, and thanks for coming over here. Thank you, Rick, also for your time.
Thanks, Tommy.
Tommy, that's got to, it's got to be a struggle. I put myself in that position of going over to Japan.
Oh my gosh.
And having some guys over there call me on a phone.
Start firing a bunch of Japanese at you.
And so I know that's got to be really confusing to these guys, but just in watching them and looking at their faces, they're having a big time.
You don't think he supposes everybody that fishes in a tournament has to talk on the phone now, do you?
Maybe so.
Not everybody gets to fish with Rick Clunn either. The legendary Rick Clunn, the winningest bass fisherman of all time. You never see him in a tournament without a plan. You always hear guys say, well, I'm just going fishing today. You never hear him say that.
And he loves to fish this crankbait. I said a little bit ago I was going to start talking about his methods, and we haven't yet.
Think
but
he spit that up?
Nothing magical about it. He finds fish and he starts throwing crankbaits at him in this situation right here, and he just tries to cover lots of ground and keep it in very fishy water.
Walmart FLW Tour and our 3rd stop of the year on Lake Martin here in Alabama. This is Guido Hidgen.
And Tommy, do you every now and then start rooting for one fisherman or the other?
Oh, all the time.
Man,
you can't help but do that.
I know. And boy, Guido's one we all root for. And it looks like he's headed towards the finals here.
Guido doing very well, doing what he does best, fishing these boat docks, and there are plenty of them here on Martin. Back to Eric Holt, his co-angler partner, Hoop Gibson there.
They're kind of having a tough go of it, aren't they? They're fishing up the lake. They're not fishing in the area where Takahiro and Clunn are fishing, but they are fishing in that murkier water, but not having a lot of success. Clunn's not doing bad. He's hanging in there, isn't he?
Absolutely. Of course, we're only with 5 anglers here today. There's Takahiro Omori. The other 5, we'll find out how they fared today at the weigh-in, I guess.
Yeah, and we're obviously not quite as concerned about a scoreboard as we normally are, because as you say, we're just covering our 5 guys. Hey, it is going to be nice, though, to find out who the winner on the non-boater side is, though. Might be Willie.
Could be.
Oh, it's 2 today. Broke off 2 fish today. I don't know why. I caught 25 fish yesterday, never broke one off. 6-pound line, but I caught 25 fish, never broke one off yesterday. I broke 2 off now. It's a straight break.
Yeah.
Did I pull it hard on him? Oh, that's a long time. That's a nice fish, too. 2-pounder at least. Yeah, they're all 2-pounders. You catch them off the end of the islands like that, they're always 2.5s, 2.25s. I'm very distraught. I don't know.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
8-pound, but 8-pound doesn't work the same. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I think we recognize this guy who's sort of watching from the edges over there. Is that not Gary Klein?
You betcha. Isn't that interesting? Now you talk about smart fishermen, I think, anyway. You got a guy out there that is really, really good at a certain technique, maybe a technique, Tommy, that you're not very good at all. Well, what's the best way to figure that out? Go out and watch him.
Watch the best.
And of course, these guys get eliminated in the qualifying days if they don't make the top 10. And a lot of guys are traveling home right now, getting ready to do something else. Gary Clunn is out there figuring out what he can do to figure Aaron out.
Well, I tell you, you're never too old to learn. And, I've been at this circuit now or fishing tournaments for, God, like 24 years. And that's one of the fascinating things about this sport. It's always changing. There's new techniques, innovative ways to catch fish. And Aaron's here in the background is probably one of the premier best drop shot fishermen that we have in the United States today. And, I've had my bottom spanked by him more than once fishing a drop shot rig. And it's something that's new to me, and I'm learning it. And one of the best ways to learn is to firsthand observe it. And that's the reason why I'm out here today. I want to watch the master at work and try to figure out everything that I've been doing wrong with the technique.
That's all right. No, go ahead and retire.
No, go ahead.
It's a big fish, dude. It's going to take me a while.
Oh, it don't matter.
Oh, that's a big one.
It don't matter.
Go ahead and retire. Well,
No, we're gonna get the fish first.
I want you to get 5 too. I want you to win the 15.
We're gonna get 5.
That's gonna be a while, Will. It's a big fish, man. You make me nervous with the net.
I'll make you nervous with the net.
Go tie your knot. When I get deep cut, I'll tell you. I want you to catch
Let me know when you're ready.
I will.
Well, I don't throw everything down, so I don't know where everything's located.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. This is a good fish, man. Oh, this is a big one. This is bigger than that big one I had. Oh, come on, baby. You're quick, man. I've never... All right, you can get ready now. He's right here. You're the fastest soundboat I've ever had. I gotta tell you that. 2-pounders are rolling.
Good job.
Aaron and Willie making a pretty good team out there today.
Well, I should say now, Aaron is starting to catch up there. For a little while, he was watching Willie, helping Willie land fish. He's finally got with the program. You knew he would, because in these little spots, there are normally lots of fish, not just 1 or 2. Those spots really school
like
up.
this has been a ticket, this area right here.
Yeah, I shouldn't have left it. But you gotta leave it for periods of time, though. If you stay on it, you won't get bites.
I agree.
You gotta leave it and come back. You can't camp on it like you think you could. And
oh, yeah, I agree.
Deep back over to shallow. Guido Hidgen.
And we learned a lot from Aaron. At least I hope we're learning a lot from Aaron. But boy, is this guy somebody you could learn anything from?
Oh, man, so many people have learned about half of what they know and more from this guy.
He is such a respected fisherman out on the tour. Everyone loves Guido.
Oh, man. Still got it. Yeah, still got it.
Rodney
still got it.
has broke his rod.
Oh, come back here. Well, take it all. Did you get that? Thank you, Guido.
You're welcome. Rodney, you'd do anything for a laugh, wouldn't you?
That's called a hook set.
For a little bitty guy, boy, you sure jerk hard.
Time you got? Get him, Willie, get him. All right, good.
FLW tour from Lake Martin in Alabama, and most Alabama fishermen will recognize that's a Kalijah Bridge in the background. Aaron Martens, the pro. His co-angler partner, Willie White, who was whaling on him today.
Boy, he's doing a great job. He could win this thing now in his side, on the non-boater side. And I think he's doing a really good job with this light line. And that's not an easy thing, Tommy. You know,
yes,
we have talked about the drop shot method and the just the plain finesse worm method and all. But I think everyone needs to realize that this is also a case of knowing the right rod and knowing how to handle the right rod with that real light line.
They got to bring these fish a long way with that little line, lots of rocks. It's dangerous.
These fish are real. Their eyes are huge. I've never seen spots like this before. They have big, pretty eyes, man. Really pretty eyes right now, huh, Willie?
Oh, beautiful eyes. I love them.
Aaron Martens, when we tell people how deep you're fishing out there, maybe around here they'd be a little bit surprised. Anyone that knows you and the way you fish out on the West Coast, that's not a surprise at all. You got probably the hottest technique in fishing going right now.
Yeah, yeah, I thought with the warm weather they'd move up, but they haven't. They're still out in 30 to 40, 50 feet of water. I've caught almost all our fish come out of 40-foot plus water today.
How about just, if you wouldn't mind, just take a minute and show us that rig and explain and take us through a cast?
Okay. I got a 6.5-foot rod. It's a medium light rod. It's pretty light. You can see it's. And I got a little tungsten 3/16 ounce weight on it. And I got a size 1 Gamakatsu. It's like a light wire, real light wire hook. And I got a 4.5-inch robo worm.
Pardon me. Now the weight is right on the end of your line, right?
I tie a Palomar knot, run the line back to the eye of the hook to keep the hook straight. And I'm fishing kind of a long leader. It's about 12, 13 inches long. And I'm going anywhere from a 3/16 weight to like a 1/4 ounce, depending on how bad the wind is. And just kind of casting it out. Here's a little point right here. Let's get a good cast. I mean, a lot of people think that you only vertical it, and you really don't. It's a good casting rig too. And what I've been doing is casting out and let it hit the bottom, and then kind of picking it up really slowly. A lot of times after it hits the bottom, there'll actually be a fish on it. So I cast it out, let it sit, and I carefully pull a slack out line to see if there's a weight on there. A lot of times I feel it kind of swimming off. I mean, half the fish do that, and it kind of there's a fish on it. It's pretty quick. If not, you just kind of work it in, let it sit a little bit, kind of just work it real slow. Yesterday it was a lot faster. Yesterday I could actually almost swim the bait. Today I had to let it sit a lot. They won't eat it that way.
How important is the bait? Is the bait more important than the technique, or is the technique really the thing?
The bait's pretty important, but I mean, Willie caught, I think 3 fish on a zoom worm this morning. It's a lot bigger worm than I'm throwing. So I like these little skinny hand porters. They're real soft, and in deep water you can usually get a really good hook set with them. They're real soft. The worm pulls down and leaves the hook exposed, and you hardly ever miss a fish.
Well, Willie White, I want to ask you a question. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about this, and I'm sure people complimented you on it. You just demolished one of the best fishers in the world from the back of the boat yesterday, Gerald Beck. I mean, you just wiped him out. I know that wasn't your intention, but it's got to make you feel fairly confident.
Yes, I feel real confident about that, and feel even more confident about fishing with Aaron Martin today. I'm not real comfortable fishing a drop shot rig, so I'm just throwing a finesse worm on a jig head, and I have 3 fish in the boat, so apparently it's working.
Yeah, no kidding.
So actually, what you're saying there is Aaron knows where some fish are, and then you're trying to catch them with your technique, I guess.
That's correct. This is the first time I ever fished this deep for spotted bass. We've been fishing around anywhere from 30 to 50 feet of water, and I'm getting a great lesson from Aaron today.
Back to the action in Lake Martin here on the FLW Tour, and Takahiro Omori's co-angler partner here, Ralph Milhausen, is finally on the board.
Takahiro's been seining the water there in front of him. He finally put a little Carolina rig on out there and figured he'd get him one fish anyway.
You just go catch some more big ones. You don't know how happy I am not to go in with a flat bag.
Now I'm going this way. Oh, good fish. Golly. Big one.
Yes.
Another big one. Oh.
Take your time.
This is the fish I needed. That's it.
Take your time.
Good see it right here, just under the boat.
Okay, when it comes up, I'll take it.
Okay.
Oh, come on, get a little closer. I don't want to get that far out.
Come on.
I don't want to get that far out.
God, that's it.
I will get him this time.
Come on. Get end of the net. Just get end of the net. Get end of the net. Come on.
Hold on. Oh, man. What a circus.
Big old spots.
Yep. I get it.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
There you go. Sorry.
Look at this. This is spots. This is This is big spots. That's not largemouth. That's spots. Wow, this is my day.
Great day for Takahiro. Not a bad day for Willie White and Aaron Martens either.
Really a big one. This is a good fish. This gotta be a good fish. It shook its head 5 times. Oh my gosh. That's a big fish. I'm not kidding this time. That's a big one. That's a big fish. Willie, dude, this is where I had that big one yesterday, man. This is it. Oh, come on, baby, please.
You just let me know when it's time.
You got it, dude. You got it. Oh my God, this is it. This is it. Just gotta land it. Look how heavy it is. Oh man, it feels a lot heavier than those other ones, but you just can't tell they're fighting too hard. I'm not gonna pull on it extra hard either. Just let her go. It's fighting good, man.
Pardon me?
It feels like a 3.5 pounder. You just can't tell that. It said that 3 times saying it had been 2 pounders. This fish does really feel heavy though. That's got some weight. Oh.
Aaron Martens, he's in more trouble with this type of fishing if it was the middle of July or August down here. You don't want to bring those fish from that cold water.
That's right. And you notice he goes up and down, goes down to his knee and then raises up and goes down. And he never, what that is a cushion. Just like your rod tip is a cushion. And boy, he really works it. He's really good at that. I'm very impressed with him. See him go down right there, as opposed to letting the fish really pull against him. He was again like a bit of a cushion in the middle of a spot where he could have very easily had his line broke.
I can't pull any harder now. I'll break her up.
He's reeling backwards as much as he's reeling forwards here.
And of course, you know, he hit on a little bit earlier here. It's also so important when you're doing this to be able to feel that strike. Because sometimes, hey, again, you're in 40, 50 feet of water. The strike is no more than a little tiny tick or just a little movement in your line.
She won't give up, man.
And I think that on a number of occasions, he's actually having fish on there and they're just beginning to move away with it. No strike at all, just moving off. So, again, I have to say how impressed I am with the feel that Aaron has and how important that is to succeed at this type of fishing.
Oh, Lordy. I just want to see it. I mean, I want to get in the boat, but I really want to see it, too.
It's calm.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
She ain't ready yet. I ain't gonna stab at her.
She's big.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
That's the fish I needed, man. Oh, yeah, baby. Gotta love that. Go ahead and fish, Willie. Get your bait out there, man.
Oh, I got to retie and all that.
Oh, you do?
It was about...
I should have had you fish on that. I should
have been retired that time, Shane. Good job. Good job.
Probably 2 3/4, 3. They're really heavy fish. They're heavier than I thought. Yes.
It's a lot of work, but that was really entertaining. I enjoyed watching that.
Aaron he's got a lot of charisma, a lot of fun going on out there when he hooks a fish.
What does this give me? Oh man,
Aaron Martens from Castaic, California.
That'll give you 2 more pounds.
He will definitely be culling there.
Well, I'll say that last one was a dandy, wasn't it?
Well, we'll see what Aaron has, what Guido, Rick Clunn, Takahiro Omori, and Eric Holt have, plus our other 5 anglers when we get to the weigh-in. That's coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're back on Lake Martin on the Walmart FLW Tour momentarily. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Minn Kota. Anywhere, anytime. Pepsi Cola, the joy of Pepsi. Shop Vac. The only thing more powerful is our name. And by Alpo. A great dog deserves a long life. A great dog deserves Alpo.
Well, our co-anglers worked so hard for 3 days getting down to this moment, and well, we had some good fishermen today, including a group from Japan, but no one could overcome the job that Willie White did fishing there with Aaron Martens, and Willie took home the big prize, which means that all we got left to find out is who are the 5 pros left for the finals.
Charlie, Our 5 anglers for the 100 grand tomorrow. Who are they?
We are going to have fun tomorrow. Make sure you're here at 3:30. One of these guys is going to walk away here from $100,000, Richard. It could be the man sitting in the Alpo boat, Mr. Guido Hidgen from Gravis Mills, Missouri.
8-9. Let's hear it for Guido Hidgen. Great job, great limit. Guido.
I just went and stuck with them. I had a couple of good fish, good largemouth and good spotted bass. Today, I fished till 11 o'clock, and I didn't. There's something about, I'm fishing docks, and, you know, I see them under them, but until about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, they don't bite for some reason.
Or possibly the man in the Conseco boat, Mr. Takahiro Omori from Emory, Texas. Takahiro. Tournament limit for Takahiro Omori. From Japan, total weight here, 14 pounds, 15 ounces.
Let's hear it for Takahiro.
Well, I just had a big bite today. I've been catching about 15 keeper last 2 days, but today I just had a big bite, so got one more day.
Or it could be the man in the Fujifilm boat, Mr. Ricky Shumpert from Lexington, South Carolina. 9 pounds, 8 ounces.
All right, a big hand, Ricky Shumpert. Ricky. You found one of those
Out zero. You know, I'm going to fish for largemouth. I'm going to do what I like to do, and so I looked for the muddiest water I could find, and I started throwing the spinnerbait and flipping a jig.
Or possibly the man sitting in the Timex boat, Rick Clunn from Ava, Missouri.
12-2, man. Rick, great job. Let's hear it for Rick Clunn.
And I had fished perfectly up till today, and today I had a couple execution problems, and hopefully it won't cost me. That you get to erase it if you make the top 5.
Or maybe the Land O'Lakes boat man, Aaron Martens from Castaic, California. Total weight of these 5, 10 pounds, 7 ounces.
All right, Aaron Martin.
Yesterday I had close to 30 fish, and today I landed 8, or I think 6 fish today, so it was a lot slower today. They're there, and I think it was the weather was too calm, and we need a little ripple on the surface, a little cloud cover. But they're big spots, maybe not.
One of those 5 is going to win $100,000 here tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you're here when it's happening.
Boy, we told you there was going to be some big spotted bass caught on today's show, and sure enough there was. Takahiro really showed out for us. In fact, the one he caught made the Fuji flashback.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.